Hello on Crypto News. Today is August 30th, 2025, and the top cryptocurrency news is as follows, and we will start our today's episode with China, which is also taking other steps towards stablecoins. Specifically, the China National Petroleum Corporation is studying the use of stablecoins for cross-border oil payments. Let's just say that the government has already assigned some roles to both Hong Kong and Shanghai in order to promote its specific plan, which means that it will put it in direct competition with the US. And we from China came to go to our ETFs for another day, which on August 28th had inflows of $178 million. On the 29th, we don't know what BlackRock has done, but we have outflows of $151 million, and for Ethereum on August 28th, we had positive inflows of a total of $39 million, while on the 29th without BlackRock, we have outflows of $164 million. Let's say at this point that for ETFs, there are a total of 92 ETFs for the time being, which are waiting for the approval or not of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. There is definitely interest, one would say, and a last-minute ETP is 21 shares, which has made a Hyperliquid ETP, which is coming to Europe and specifically to Switzerland. And from our ETFs and ETPs, we go to our companies, and we will go to Strategy and a lawsuit they had filed against it. Specifically, investors in the company had reported the company for misleading statements, and were essentially saying that Strategy has boosted its potential profit with its strategy of only buying Bitcoin, especially since the company had reported losses of $4.22 billion in early 2025. However, as we said, they have now apparently dropped this lawsuit. And from Strategy, we will go to companies that buy cryptocurrencies, and we will go to Japan-based Gumi, which is a company that makes games. Now we learn that it has invested $17 million in the gradual purchase of XRP, and this is not the first purchase it has made. As we know from previous episodes of Crypto News, this company has already invested $6 million to buy Bitcoin, so it knows what it is doing. And in addition to this company, we will go to Amdax, which is a Dutch service provider for buying cryptocurrencies. And this company has raised 20 million euros to start a Bitcoin management company on Euronext in Amsterdam. So in Europe, they are slowly waking up and investing in cryptocurrencies. While beyond these companies, there is something very interesting. Let's say that his lawyer, Elon Musk himself, Mr. Alex, is going to take the presidential position in a Dogecoin management company, which the company wants to raise $200 billion and will buy Dogecoin, as you understand. Now let's say that this article was created based on reports from Fortune, which cites 6 people with knowledge of the deal. There is no official announcement, but this is very interesting news, as you understand, for Dogecoin itself. Moving on to Ethereum and our coins, let me tell you that the Ethereum Foundation is stopping funding. Let's say that the funding is stopping because they want to focus on a more proactive funding model, which is better aligned with the strategic needs of the ecosystem. Let's also say at this point that on July 5th, we told you in Crypto News that if the Ethereum Foundation continues to spend in 18 months, it will be out of money. So maybe this new funding strategy is a way for them to cut back on their expenses, as you understand. And for the latest news on Ethereum, let me tell you that now their new strategy for 2025 to 2026 regarding the upgrades of Ethereum itself is essentially to develop protocols and services to increase interoperability between Layer 2 and Ethereum, with the goal of having them all work together organically as one chain, which will make the entire Ethereum ecosystem much faster and more efficient. These, as I said, are their new plans, without omitting the upgrades that need to be done for Ethereum, at least they say. And moving on, let's go to Tether, which is unfreezing Tether on 5 blockchains. On September 1st, Tether had told us that it would stop supporting Tether and freeze everything on 5 networks: Omni, Bitcoin Cash, Kusama, EOS, and Algorand. But with these new plans, it will not freeze these tethers. It will let them circulate on those networks, but no new tethers will be issued there. Whatever is there is there. And let's go to our favorite cryptocurrency market, with Bitcoin at $108,000 right now, at a price that holds our support, as you can see. Let's say the liquidations in the market is quite high, with over $500 million in liquidations from traders. And the last indicator that came out positive for the US economy is the PCE year on year, which was 2.6%. They were expecting 2.6% and they got 2.6%. So we're not worried about that number, because if it hadn't come in as expected, the markets would have been more in the red. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, is August 30th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.